Welcome to the Connecting Disciples TV studio. Why don't you
Thank you.
introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do?
My name is Fiona Fidgin. I work for the Learning Network. I'm based in the Yorkshire Plus region.
Excellent. And you've led a session on prayer just. What does prayer mean to you and how did you end up doing about prayer?
Well, how did I end up doing about prayer? Well, I'm quite passionate about prayer. Right. And I'm quite passionate about it because in my experience, people don't know, I'm going to say they don't know how to pray. I think in the church, we expect people to know how to pray. And I think in reality, most of us kind of struggle to pray, to struggle to connect really deeply with God. I think folks really grapple with that. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I was asked to do the workshop. For me, prayer is a little bit about just resting in the presence of God. I'm quite a visual person and I quite like being outside, so I pray a lot outside. So I think it's important in prayer to find a way that works for you. And there are a whole variety of ways of praying, which is one of the stuff that we've been talking about in the workshop. Find a way that works for you and stick with it.
How are your experience, you've been in the Methodist Church for a little while, how's your experience with the people of the Methodist movement, like in relation to prayer? Is prayer still important in your experience? Is there a struggle? I know I personally struggle with it. I know a lot of people I work with do. So is that what you come across? Or?
I don't think it's a particularly Methodist thing. I think probably a lot of folk do struggle with prayer. And I think that's partly because our diet of prayer in the church is quite restricted. And I think what we've been trying to say is actually there's a whole variety of ways of praying. So what we've been doing here over the conference, we've had a labyrinth, that's a kind of walking prayer. We've offered time to breathe, that's about being reflective and just taking a bit of time and having a bit of renewal, giving yourself a bit of space as opposed to being busy. We live in a world where people are very busy and very frantic, and there's something about actually we need to encourage people and help people to rebalance their lives. Because the whole notion of stillness and quiet is something that people aren't comfortable with. We're in a room and we like to turn the TV on or the radio on because we actually can't handle the silence. So there's something about, I think, trying to rebalance our lives and being attentive to, that whole sense of stillness and quiet. And I think actually people are really yearning for that sense of reflection, stillness, quiet, any of those kind of things.
Yeah, I guess particularly in today's society, which is even more involved, self-involved now with phones and the obvious kind of things, it's, I guess, even more of an issue. Resources, if people are watching this or have been at the conference this week or further at home and want to find out more about how they can resource themselves in prayer, where should they go to? What's your go-to tips for?
Go-to tips. And I'm sure there's some good stuff on the Methodist website. I think I should give that a plug. Again, there's a whole variety of different things. Pray As You Go is a really good podcast from the Jesuits. That's really popular. There's a prayer 24/7. But I think, find books or ask people, go on retreats, go on quiet days, find sort of local things that work for you. See what there is about.
Yeah, because there's real variety out there, isn't there? Like in localities as well,
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah,
Perfect. Thanks for coming by and we'll see you again soon.
Great. Thank you very much.